Good morning. Welcome back, students, to your channel in Economics Madhumita Das. Today's topic is from the chapter Consumers Equilibrium. We have done most of the topics from Consumers Equilibrium. Today we are left with only this topic, and that is the topic of budget line, which is very, very important. Now, what is the meaning of a budget line? We need to study that. So, budget line is basically a graphical presentation of all combinations of two goods. Possible combinations. Okay, so we will be working out on all possible combinations of two goods. So we are purchasing how many goods from the market? We are purchasing two goods from the market, and they have got certain given price in the market, and we have a certain limitation of income. Yes, so we have to take into consideration prices and income of these two. We'll be spending on these two goods, right? So we'll have to take into consideration the prices of the goods in the market and also the resources that we have, that is our money, income. Okay, such that the cost of these combinations, that means every possible combination we should be spending on the goods in such a way that it is equal to the money income of the consumer. Okay, that means we have to spend in such a way that the cost should be equal to the income. Now, what is cost? We will be learning in the example. Okay, so just for now, what is budget line? Budget line is basically a graphical representation of all possible combinations of two goods with given prices and money income, such that the cost of each of these combinations is equal to the money income of the consumer. Now, if we are taking, just a minute. Now, we have taken an example. Let's say the consumer is purchasing two goods, good A and good B, from the market. The price of good A is rupees 4 unit per unit, and price of rupees B is rupees 2 per unit. Okay, and the consumer is consuming or purchasing good A and good B. So, and also we have, say, money income of the consumer, that is income of the consumer at disposal, is rupees 20. Okay, so consumer is having 20 rupees with him and he needs to spend on these two goods. Okay, so that it fits his budget. Now let us see. Now combination, say P. Okay, combination P, we are buying 5 units of good A, and for combination in combination P, we are buying 5 units of good A, but we are buying 0 units of good B. Okay, say we are buying 0 units. So what will be let us see whether the cost of these combinations is equal to the money income. So 5, what is the price of good A? 4. 5 into 4 plus 0 into 2. Yes, we are buying 0 units of good B. So, and 2 is multiplied with it. So 5 into 4, 20 plus 0, which is equal to 20. So the cost is getting equal to the money income. Yes or no? Next, for Q combination, let us check whether this is okay or not. For Q combination, say the consumer is buying 4 units. Okay, so he's reducing one good. Yes, he is reducing the purchasing of one good to increase his purchase of another good. As I told you, okay, for increasing the consumption of one good or the purchase of one good, we have to sacrifice another good. So this has been increased, this has been decreased. So 4 into 4 plus 2 into 2, that gives you around 16 plus 4, that is 20. Again, this is coming as 20. Then combination R, we see 3 units of good. Again, we are decreasing, we are increasing for good B, and so it will be 3 into 4 plus 4 into 2, that is equal to 12 plus 8, which is equal to 20. Again, this is decreased by 1 unit, and again this is increased by 2 units. 2 into 4 plus 6 into 2. So this is 8 plus 12, which is again 20. And then here again decreasing of good A. So purchase of good A has come down to 1 unit, and this is increased by 2 units again. So 1 into 4 plus 8 into 2. So that is again equal to 20. And then finally the consumer is say purchasing 0 units of good A, and he's spending everything, is purchasing and spending on the entire good B. So 10 units of good B. So this is 0 into 4 plus 10 into 2, that is again equal to 20. So can you see the cost of these combinations? Cost is nothing but price into quantity. So here cost of these combinations turn out to be equal to the money income of the consumer. So what kind of shape do you think, or what kind of graph comes out with this kind of data? So let us see. Okay, we'll plot now these data into a graph and we'll find out what is the shape of the budget line. Okay, so we can see here the graph. Can you all see? The graph is visible here. So here in the graph, good A is represented on the x-axis, good B is represented on the y-axis, and we see that we have plotted all the units, possible combination units of good A and B. So for good A, as we have already seen in the table, for good A, the maximum number of units purchased is 5, and for good B, the maximum number of units is purchased is 10. So in our graph, we are doing the same. So we have plotted here 10 and we have plotted here till 5. So now let us see for the first combination, that is P. Okay, what are we plotting? Let us see, 5 units of good A with 0 units of good B. 5 units of good A and 0 units of good B. So this comes around here. So your combination P comes around here. Yes or no? 5 units of good A. So we can mark a dot here and we can write here P. Then we can see here Q combination. Q combination says 4 units of good A and 2 units of good B. 4 units of good A and 2 units of good B. So it comes around here. Yes or no? It comes around here. So this is your Q combination. Yes. Then we come to this R combination. What is our R combination? R combination gives us 3 units of good A and 4 units of good B. So here we can see on the graph 3 units of good A and 4 units of good B. Yes. So we'll mark it accordingly on the graph. Okay. So this is R combination. Then again we have S combination, 2 units of good A and 6 units of good B. 2 and 6. So 2 units of good A and 6 units of good B. This is the S combination. Then we have 1 unit of good A, 8 units of good B. 1 and 8. So this comes like this. This is ST. And then the final one we have at U combination, 0 units of good A and 10 units of good B. So here the combination U comes. Okay, so what can we see here? Can we join these points? These points can be joined. Yes, we can join these points. And what do we see? That this is our budget line. What is the name of the budget line? Say the name of the budget line is AB. Okay, AB is the budget line that we get. Yeah. What kind of line do we get? Definitely it is a downward sloping line. Yes, downward sloping line. What does that represent? It represents that, just a minute. It represents that if we are purchasing one good, we have to, if we are increasing the purchase of one good, the other good needs to be decreased in its purchase. Okay, so we have to purchase less of the other good if we are increasing the purchase of one good. So that is why when we are increasing good A, the good B needs to come down. If we are increasing the purchase of good B, good A purchase needs to come down. So there is an inverse relation. So the property of budget line, first is Properties. What are the properties? First is, the property of a budget line is that it is downward sloping. Very, very important, students. You all can get this question in your exam. What are the properties of a budget line? First and foremost property is that it is downward sloping in nature because of the inverse relationship between the quantity of goods. When we are in purchasing one good, okay, we have to decrease the purchase of another good. Okay, when we are increasing the purchase of one good, we have to decrease the purchase of another good. Why this happens? This happens because our income is limited. We have limited source of income. Okay, money income needs to be taken into consideration. We have only 20 rupees in our example. Yes, 20 rupees is our money income. So we have to be very careful. So downward sloping because of inverse relationship between the quantities of the goods. Next is, it is a straight line curve. Yes or no? Do we find the budget line to be a curve? No, it is a straight line. Straight line. Why it is straight line? Because of the price ratio. Now the price of good A. What is the price of good A versus the price of good B? This is 4/2. So this is 2. So this price ratio remains constant all throughout the operation of budget line. Yes, the prices of goods remains constant. This is because that is why the budget line is a straight line, because of the constant price ratio between good A and good B. So it is a straight line. Okay, so these are the properties of budget line. So whatever falls on this budget line will fit into the consumer's budget. Okay, now let's say, for example, if we have studied about PQRSTU. Okay, now let us see that we have another point here, and this is, say, Z. Okay, so what do we do with this point? Definitely this is coming within the budget. That means the consumer will spend this much and this much, 6 units of good B and 1 unit of good A for this combination. So he is not spending the entire amount. Okay, he is, for this combination, for this Z combination, he is not spending the entire amount. So any point on this, say X, okay, or you can name it as C. Okay, so this point also comes within the budget line. Okay, so C, Z, or say you can say Q, all these comes within the budget line. Now what about any point coming outside the budget line? Let's say this point. This point, let us name it as M. Okay, now this point is outside the budget line, so it is not within the budget of the consumer. So this we will not say as overspending, but we'll say it as unachievable. Okay, we do not have anything concept as overspending. We call it as unachievable, because if it is out of the budget, definitely he cannot spend more than his budget. Okay, so definitely he cannot afford for M combination of goods. Yes, why? Because it is outside the budget line. So it is an unachievable target, or it is an unachievable point for the consumer. Okay, so point 10 is called as an unachievable point. Okay, it is not within the budget of the consumer, it is outside the budget of the consumer. So now, keeping into consideration about all these things, now let us come to the definition of budget set. Now what is the meaning of budget set? Let us see, or let us focus here in market. Yeah, what is budget set? Budget set is a set or group of all possible combinations of two goods which the consumer can afford given his income and prices in market. So budget set is those combinations, those possible combinations of the two goods which a consumer can afford. So under the budget set, we will have all these combinations which are less than the consumers, which in which the consumer does not spend his entire income also. Let's say combination Q, combination Z, combination C. These are not on the budget line. Okay, on the budget line we have only P, Q, R, S, T, U. Yes, this is T. Yes. So on the budget line we have all these points. So apart from all these points, those points which are not on the budget line like C, Z, Q, these points will also come in the budget set because the consumer can afford. Okay, so the budget set is all possible combination of two goods which consumer can afford within his given him income and prices in market. Okay, but will M point or M combination come under budget set? No, because it is outside his given money income. It is more than 20 rupees. So that is why we cannot include this point in the budget set. Okay, so budget line is basically those combinations which will be equal to basically those combinations of two goods with given prices and income, wherein the cost will be equal to the income. Okay, but in budget set we'll be including all combinations, whether it is equal to the whether the cost is equal to the income, or maybe it is not covering the entire money income also, but it is fitting within the budget line. Okay, or it is inside the budget line, these points Q, Z, C. Okay, so budget set, you understood the difference between budget line and budget set. Budget line are only those points or those combinations wherein the money income should be equal to the cost spent on the two goods. But budget set is basically any combination which the consumer can afford within his given money income. So these are the important things about budget line and budget set. Now we will also do an important topic which is left here, which is called as shift in budget line. So let us see how. Okay, now let us see shift in budget line. Students, remember one thing, that budget line is a straight line curve. Okay, and it is always downward sloping in nature. Now when the budget line increases, when can we say that there is an increase in budget line? When the budget line shifts to the right. Okay, when the budget line shifts to the right, we can call it to be as increase in the budget line. When can we say it is a decrease in budget line? When the budget line shifts to the left. Okay, so accordingly let us see. Now if the price of the goods increases in the market, then will the budget line increase or decrease? The budget line will definitely decrease. Okay, because the price of the goods are increasing, so consumer will not be able to afford. So the budget line will shift to the left hand side, A dash, B dash. Okay, so if the price increases, budget line shifts to the left hand side. Now, what happens in situation if the price falls? If the price of the goods decreases, definitely budget increases. Okay, so if budget increases, then definitely the budget line will shift to the right hand side, A dash, B dash. Okay, if price of the goods falls, budget line shifts to the right hand side. What happens in situation of income rising? If income rises, definitely budget will also increase. If income rises, budget shifts to the right hand side. Yes, so this is A and B budget line, A and B. It's very important to mark the axis in economics. Okay, if you are not marking the x-axis and y-axis, then marks get deducted. Okay, so make sure that you are marking the axis in the exam. Okay, so this is a case of increase in income. So A dash, B dash, budget line shifts to the right hand side. Okay, next is again an increase, say decrease in income. So budget obviously will decrease. If there is a decrease in income of the consumer, budget will also decrease. Okay, so y is nothing but income. Y is equal to income. Please remember, y is equal to income. Okay, so this will come to the left hand side yet again. So this is A dash, B dash. So we have four situations. In case of shift of budget line, for example, if the price increases, budget line decreases to the left. If the price falls, budget line increases to the right hand side. If the income increases, then budget line increases to the right hand side. And if the income falls, budget line decreases to the left hand side. Again, now there is another case wherein there's a shift in one good only. Okay, there's a change in price of one good only. So what happens in case of those budget lines? Let us see. So now let us take in case of changes in price of only one good. In case of one good price change, what happens? If only one good price change, let's say the price of only A changes, okay, it increases. So what will happen? Now we are taking x-axis for good A and y-axis for good B in all the four sections. Okay, now if the price of good A increases, the budget for good A will definitely increase. There will be no change in good B. Okay, if the price of good A increases, the budget of good A will decrease, because the price of good A has increased. So it will shift to the left hand side. In case the price of good A falls, okay, it falls down, then what will happen? The budget of good A will rise. It will shift to the left hand side. Yes. Again, if the price of good B, good A remains constant, good B is price is changing, it is increasing, so the budget of good B will fall. Okay, it will shift to the left hand side. And if in case price of good B falls, the budget of good B will rise. Okay, budget of good A remains the same. Okay, there's no change in the budget of A in the last. Students, if you've liked my content, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel Madhumita Das. It will be really a big motivation for me. Thank you so much. Meet you in the next video.